Then to say that the institution of marriage based on sexual preference is also a loving thing. How is that a loving thing, you say? I say. Well, it could be, but it's not everlasting life. It could very well be a loving thing, but again, it is not everlasting life at all. Hasn't been shown to be, hasn't been known to be in any aspect of the living life. Only in the words of those lesser known human beings who have decided that their lifestyle based on self-destruction, self-defeat, from the historical preferences that we know of, historical preferences, there we go, preferences, sexual preferences. That's all that is. The creation process doesn't say preference. It is straight up as it is. That's the way it is. You can spin it, flip it all however many times you want to try to get to some manipulating factor, but all you get is actors. No real deal, no people to seed the earth, go forth and multiply, any of that. The physiology of it doesn't work. There are hermaphrodites, people who have both sexes. The creation process gives us that, you see. The creation process doesn't give you to put your penis in someone else's body part and give a human life, you see. The creation process doesn't cut anything off anywhere when it's given the life process, everlasting life. It doesn't cut you off anywhere. You can see that. That's how beautiful life is. We have so many truths to look and see that overpowers these particular words that says sexual preference. I know people are going to be emotionally charged up because who you think he is, but it's not about who I think I am. It's about the truth, physiology, the seed process coming out of darkness into the light, even in the spermatozoa. The life is. The darkness is there. The light is only on the head of the sperm. The light is just on the head of the sperm, not the whole sperm itself. And it comes through the pressurized situation. And for those who are, again, this is an attachment to the divine and not an attack on anyone at all. What happened to my computer? It's gone completely out. Okay? So that's what this is all about. It is the truth that we must share and have to deal with. Shut me down. And that we will live with. Undoubtedly. And the computer completely shut down, blacked out. You see how that powerful this message is? So as we go on with truth, as it should be and will always be, sexual preference is just words manipulated by people who have no self-control, in that only a feeling that you get from rubbing body parts. You can masturbate and get the same feeling you would get of putting your penis in someone's anus. You see? Into a place where manure comes out. You see? That's what that does. You can do that with your body. More so than uh, be fooled by that process of being told you have a sexual preference, so that's what you are. Now, again, right now what's happening, these are sexual preferences. Racist people who think they're in power can change laws for them to have sex with children. Uh, Again, it's masturbate. That's called masturbating. Masterfully baiting someone into a lifestyle that is not everlasting. You see, that's masterful baiting. See, words have more than one meaning. Just the creation process always gives us multiple meanings of everything. Yes? It's like the drag queen. Queen dragging a lifestyle on, dragging it on. Doesn't have to mean that it's a man dressing as a woman, but even that has its process of self-destruction, low self-esteem, and all of that. Self-control, no self-control whatsoever. You must have self-control in this life, in this world, or you will be told these things and your thought process will be stuck right there at that point. Okay? Again, the creation process gives us truths in the physiology and the makeup of the people. Masturbating is a beautiful thing in the multiplicity of the gift of life, because you can be masterfully baited into thinking you have a sexual preference. No, you don't have a sexual preference. You have self-control or losing self-control to think that your sexual preference is more powerful than the everlasting creation process. And we get this type of society. And most people in this society, Sodom and Gomorrah, is recognized in a destructive lifestyle, came about through that and took a lot of people out. So at this time, this peaceful dominance, this message, you all can change from that. And save yourselves individually, because this is what I'm doing. Saving myself through this by speaking this language, taking high risk, super high risk, for a super high reward to have everlasting life, knowing what's coming. C-U-M coming, just as life comes, not just C-O-M, because life comes from that. The words that are used, not the sexual preference. This is not an attack on people who have a sexual preference to the same sex. That's what you're doing. But the creation process that got you here didn't do that. Everlasting life got you here through a heterosexual spinning vibratory rate process. Totally. Not the other way around. And so to come and to say sexual preference is more powerful or just as powerful as that, it's not a complete package deal. It's not completely knowledgeable. It's not completely overstanding. It doesn't have all the factors that is given to the heterosexual, because heterosexual can raise the dead, can bring things to life, but the same-sex preference cannot do that. Same-sex preference can only give you the physiology of that feeling over and over again without ever producing the physiological life that is seed in the body, on the earth, which we do. Now, I've worked in that field. I've seen the life. I've felt it. So the creation process put me in that position for a reason, for today to come to be able to speak of it openly, honestly, courageously, and to give you all that. Again, creation process has hermaphrodites, things that are multiple, And the first time a human being, an animal that was mucus filled and had multiple body parts, then the mind, the brain took that in as well. That doesn't go, that is the everlasting life giving of the everlasting creation process. It doesn't stop anywhere. The very first time it happened, it's still going on right now. And just as a plant-based diet can heal any body to grow plant-based food over what is going on now, just as the cows, the chickens, all these things that were made in the laboratory, not by the creation process, but an assistant, a preference, a sexual preference to manipulate the two seed processes through an intellectual process now to make another animal, to kill it over and over and over again, without the true knowledge of knowing that the mucus formation is the number one thing that's going to take the life of the human experience. Okay? So that is what this is all about. To be able to live on, over and over again, yeah, there's huge amounts of pressure that comes with that. Huge amounts of pressure that comes with that. And if one can live through the pressure, with the pressure, then you are given so many things to use. Your passport into the highest level of living. With many trying to understand it, trying to stop it, and without the knowledge of knowing that that's a self-destructive feature in them. And it does have a creature aspect to it because that's what you ate, was the creatures. Okay? So the animals that show us who eat the plant-based diet, move about on the earth, do have the calm demeanor, the everlasting family, familiar protection, light projection protection from the universal order, where they live, how they live, in respect to waters, the earth being mostly water, our bodies being mostly water. So to ingest that knowledge, you send out a light bridge throughout the universe to communicate, just as the Dogon does, in outer space, interstellar fellows, to see another solar system, two planetary star systems, thousands of millions of years before these same people who are right now saying that they're master baiting and they're masterful beings, which is not the case at all. Because the creation process doesn't first give the threat of death, of killing and maiming and murder. It doesn't give that. It gives the alliance, the allegiance of everything being an ally, life-giving, beautiful, peacefully dominant, being fruitful in that manner at all times, such as the plants who have gentle seeds, flowering seeds, light, your heart light as a feather. It could drop a small feathery touch onto the earth, and that would dig so deep as a wild plant does that it would grow and feed your body all the minerals